This is Darold Bivens.
My name is Jordan Macias, and my handle is at Jordan More Chairs.
The legendary A Queen in front of the local 907.
My name is Rob Conroy, and you can find me on Instagram at RobConroy_INC.
All right, here we are with Danny Anderson.
Hey, it's Simon Kaufman.
All right, here we have Dennis Stampert in front of the local 907.
All right, Narin Vann.
We have PJ here. This is Allison Fine in front of the 907.
Hi. Dylan Avila. The handle is Dylan Avila Lives. It's at Dylan Avila Lives.
We have Chris Edwards with us in front of the local 907.
About 10 years.
Past my 2-year anniversary on February 17th.
About a year and a half.
I want to start off by saying, how dare you ask Darold Bivens to do this before me? How fucking dare you? You know who the fuck I am? God damn it. You chose him before everyone else because he was available, just because he was there? What the fuck kind of, how are you going to start up a show? Oh, that guy's about to die. Anyway. Even though he was, hey, you were about to die. You crossed the street, right? You almost died. Okay. And that still would have been more entertaining than Darold Bivens. All right? Darold, I know you watch this. Fuck you, Darold Bivens.
Shit, how long has it been? I think 9 years? Shit.
I've been doing comedy for 2.5 years.
Wow, I'd just say 10 years. It's been longer than that, honestly. But, you know, I've been doing that a minute.
15 years, not including COVID. But if you add the 2 years, I sat around eating fashion ice cream, whatever you call it, like the good ice cream. I go hard on the ice cream.
I think like 2 years now, something like that.
I started like the summer before last, so a year and a half, almost 2 years now.
I've been doing comedy for a bit, over 10 years. I started in improv comedy in Chicago and moved on to doing stand-up when I moved out to LA. That was actually 10 years ago. I was there for 5 years and then took some time off because I had a kid. Now I'm back at it.
Been doing comedy since 2011, so about 12, 13 years.
I've been doing comedy since the pandemic. I was doing it for 2 years straight, and I ran into some health problems, so I had to take a year off. I just came back in November, so about 2 years and 2.5 years almost.
I don't know, not too many good ones, to be honest. When I graduated my comedy class and the entire audience was filled with people who were just there to support no matter what. That was pretty good.
I would say I went to Canada in November to a town of 4,000 people and in front of 280 of those people, which is a huge percentage of those people if you do the math. It was a fundraiser. It was probably one of the best nights of my life.
Probably going back to my very first night ever doing comedy. I was at the local, not the local 907, I was at Laughs back when it was in Kirkland, and they were having an open mic competition for some reason, and I brought enough people to join the audience that I won it, and my ego got way too big, and I spent the first couple years of my comedy career not funny because I was just like, well, it worked the first time.
Comedy Store, I love performing at the Comedy Store. I don't know if there's a specific night that was like the best. There was a few times when I do comedy and there's people who were in the crowd that were famous and they were like, hey, you're really funny, and I like that a lot. But the whole experience of being at the Comedy Store was really awesome.
Best night in comedy was when I actually got to open for CeCe Winans. That was amazing and fantastic. I loved it. It was like one of those just amazing opportunities. I'm like, I can put that on my resume. Yeah.
And like it was a short set. Well, actually, one of my best sets I ever had. I did a theater, and my mom surprised me. My mom and dad came to see me perform for the first time ever, and my mom saw me perform in front of like 1,200 people, and my mom had a twinkle in her eye. I sat in the front row. I didn't know she was gonna be there, so like I just paused. My mom was like, oh, this is a big moment for me. Then after the show, she was like, Own. She looked around, she's like, how proud, like, yeah, because I'm the fuck up of the family, right? So my mom looked at her and was like, Own, is it like this all the time? And I looked at my mom straight in her face, like, Mom, this is the smallest crowd I've ever performed at front right now. This is pretty fucking embarrassing. You came to show us here tonight. I was at Madison Square Garden the other day, and you guys hear this bullshit, ask 1,200 people seat here. This is pretty embarrassing. When I came here, you know, like they didn't give my, they didn't pick anything my writer about. I was even the headliner of the show.
A few weeks ago, my favorite comedian, Steph Tallis, was at Tacoma Comedy Club, and I met her. I went to see the show, I met her, and then she was like, I was like, oh, I want to work with you one day. She was like, DM me. So the next day I DM'd her, and she gave me a 7-minute guest spot on her show.
Well, no, I've had a lot of them. Here's the problem with the best night in comedy is the best night in comedy gets surpassed by, no, now this is the best night in comedy.
Okay,
so I've had 72 best nights in comedy. Like, I don't know.
I mean, there's some sets I feel like I've had at Laughs that were like, I felt really connected with the crowd, which was nice. You know, where they're like, I remember when I had a set and they were like bummed out when I was leaving. I was like, that felt pretty cool.
I went to Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club, and Nate Jackson was there, and he decided to make jokes about how black my name sounded for a good 15 minutes straight in front of all the comics, which is probably the best/worst promo I could get. So yeah, getting roasted by the owner of the comedy club and like Nate Jackson himself, kind of oddly a highlight. Definitely up there.
But seriously, I wish it was Darold that almost got ran over by that car over there. But that car would have been way better than whatever fucking bullshit answers he had, okay?
It actually was pretty recently. I did a show, I co-produced a show for where we featured disabled comics. We sold like 120 tickets at Central Saloon. I hosted it, and I had a really good set. Afterwards, people were like, they're like, you tell me to stick with it. They could tell that they must have been able to tell that I had lots of low moments in comedy, and I was thinking about quitting, or maybe they I don't know. Maybe they thought I had like a disability, and they felt bad for me. I'm not sure.
I'll tell you my very first best night in comedy, but it's been surpassed.
Okay.
I was like maybe 2 years in. I opened for Michael Winslow from the Police Academy movies, who was like a hero growing up because I learned about life from the Police Academy movies, and they were, you know, instrumental in my upbringing. And he was in Spaceballs, so I performed for him, and then I signed a bunch of breasts after, and I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe she's letting me sign her tits, and I was like, wow. And
Man, I've had some good nights, man. It's hard to pick a best night, but if I had to do one, we were just doing the show at the Parlor, and it was with Leslie Jones and Nate Jackson and Ralph Porter and me and Jay Hollingsworth, and it was just like the best show I've ever been a part of, and the crowd was hype. And I could never have more fun on a show, really, within that one. It was a slaughterhouse, man. It was great.
Best night in comedy was, I actually just produced my first show over at the Whiskey Mile in Kirkland, and I headlined it, and can you see my hands? Yeah, that was absolutely my best night. It was a lot of friends and family there, so I really kind of was looking at a lot of people that I knew, and I felt really comfortable, and I told everyone who was at the show, I was like, don't expect this again, because it's not going to happen. I'd never do this good. So yeah, that was absolutely my best night.
An easy one. I was another comedy competition. There's a trend here. I was invited to do one up with Sherry Hardman back in the day. I think it was up around Everett. And I was not prepared. I was still drinking. I was pretty buzzed. And they put me up first with no opener or anything. So I was just going to a bar of people who didn't know there was going to be comedy. And they're like, all right, go. And I bombed for 7 minutes straight. And then right after me, Adam Lucky went. And it was Adam Lucky's first mic ever. This kid was funny from day one. And he went up after my bomb and destroyed with material he'd never tried before. I remember driving home and I'm just like, oh, I need to hang it up. This is pretty fucking bad. I'm like, yeah.
When I first started getting back into comedy here in Seattle at the Flight Path, and I bombed really, really bad in front of all of the friends that I made, because it was an all black female crowd, and black women don't like me generally. So I don't know why. I love black women, but they don't like me. So
I got banned from the Shanghai room for telling a racist joke, but it was actually a sexist joke.
Probably when I didn't pay attention to an audience and I told a bunch of old jokes to a room full of older people, and they did not take that very well, and they were kind of just like, because nobody wants to be called old.
Sharing stage with Darold Bivens. That's what happened to be right there. Can't fucking stand that guy. Could be chosen first.
Not gonna say the name of the place, but there was a location in Auburn. You know what I'm thinking.
Yep.
Nothing against the place itself, but just wasn't feeling my jokes. And I think shortly after that, it was just one of those nights where you see yourself bomb and then you see other comics do really well. And then you go, maybe I do suck. Maybe that's... You're asking, hey, you want? I'll give you honest. It's maybe I do suck. You eventually really get through it, but that was probably a rough night going outside of the city and learning, oh, my stuff isn't as universal as I thought.
Probably it's an aptly named room. It's called Bomb Shelter Comedy, or the Bomb Shelter. It's at 4 B's Tavern. And I made the mistake of just telling old jokes to a room of comedians that had already heard it before. So that was my first official and probably worst bomb of my career thus far.
There was a show that I did in Auburn, and there was just nobody in the audience. There was like maybe 10 people there. They were kind of disengaged. Those are always frustrating shows to be on, but I still try and find the joy in everything, which sounds probably stupid and cliche, but yeah, I mean, I haven't like gotten heckled or anything crazy. So far, you know, just a small audience or an unengaged audience. There's been a few nights like that, but I try and find the good, and there's been a lot of good.
I did a show at Nate's, and like Nate put me on with this one lady, and it was a mismatch. It was like the thing. First, the show started an hour and a half late. People were still being seated. I'm the feature. No one's paying attention to my shit, right? And like, imagine if Common did a show with Cardi B. That's kind of how different it was. That's how different our vibe was the entire time. I had some jokes, we had to think about some shit, and she was on stage like, oh, I gotta suck a brother dick like this, and people were like, I can't pay me to say doing whatever, and I'm just using some like double wordplay and all this other stuff. And even Nate even got on stage afterwards, which I was happy to. And Nate was like, yo, just because you're not up here singing and dancing, like being goofy, anime, doesn't mean it's not funny. You had to think about some shit. If you read a book today, you'd like that guy. And the mean security guy's like, did he just call everyone dumb? I'm like, thanks. It was good.
Every single night. Literally. Just the past 3 open mics I've been to, I've been drowning. And it's been like that all night. So every time I get up, it's quite frankly almost the worst night. I don't know.
Comedy/bar last week. The room was dead. Everyone was ready to leave, but they were still just hanging in there. And I was like, I'm gonna get them, and I was gonna do like, I did like my banger stuff, like my firecracker, like end the set stuff, and I didn't get anything. And I was so pissed, and I was so bitter. And some fuckboy went up after me, and he got laughs, and I was so pissed about it. That was probably like the worst set that I could have.
I was like a year in, and I brought this girl, I really liked her, right? And I bring her out to like Tibbs's. So it's like an all-black club in the South End. And I'm like the only white guy. Needless to say, they didn't like my 1 year in open mic material. It was doing pretty good at the Pegasus Pizza open mic in Kirkland, right? So, yeah, I wasn't connecting. That's a great club. I did it a ton of times. Like, it was great. I was new. And then came after me I think it was Earthquake from Atlanta.
Yeah, I know.
It could have been Hurricane. I'll check the meteorologist. But I think it was Earthquake. But a beast, hilarious, like a monster, like fucking been doing it for 20 years. And he just crushed. And I'm sitting in my seat, and the girl I like that I brought, she just turns to me and she's like, now I like that style of comedy. That sucked. That was the worst night.
Okay.
Maybe when David brought toddlers to my open mic, that might have been the worst night. Literally like 6-year-olds with ukuleles tried to sign up for the open mic because David was like, dude, we're making an all open mic with everything. I was like, I didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
Left the open mic. That might have been the lowest point in my career.
Worst night was definitely the night someone tried to kill me and hit me in the head twice with a metal baseball bat. You got me right there. So yeah, I survived that, but that was definitely ended that night early.
Keep the 907 being the strongest, longest running mic forever. Get booked on a couple more shows and keep having fun with my friends. I love the people I've met through comedy. I love having a good time with them.
Here I'm about to do a 25-minute feature in Pasco, and so I want to get a good quality recording of that. That's my goal.
honestly look at getting booked more. I know it's really thing, but I want to essentially be one of the most well-known comics in the PNW Seattle Tacoma area. I want you to hear my name. I'll be synonymous with the scene.
I'd like to get paid. That'd be sick. I've been getting paid a little bit, so that's nice. But I would like to just do more shows. I'd like to network more, and I would like to do as much as I can. As always.
Bit pushing. Whatever it is, I don't know.
I started off last year thinking I was going to get a special done. By August of this year, it has become painfully clear that that's not going to happen. So I just want to try and use this year to actually build up my hours so I can film my special at the start of next year.
Just be grounded on stage more, be in my body more, be focused more, you know, find that razor's edge more of just like being super, super dialed in to yourself.
Stay alive and do less drugs.
Host, and I know that, like, I love hosting, and that's a really big thing, but I would like in the next, I guess, 10 months, I would like to step up into a feature role and do more features, because I definitely have some good time. So I want to get my set tighter, and I want to be a feature on a regular basis, because I love hosting and I don't mind hosting, but being able to feature more would probably be the goal by the end of the year.
I have more rooms coming up, so that's pretty nice. I really should I'm kind of like a slower month off. Travel more, maybe check out Chicago. Austin was lovely to me. Shout out to people at Austin. I won't say their names so you can fucking mooch off those people.
Definitely do more shows, get booked on more shows, definitely apply for a couple festivals or two, and do more social media content, because I'm really bad at it. And this face deserves to be seen across the world. I'm just saying.
Producing a lot of my own shows, ticketed shows, kind of taking on some more stuff, bigger shows, and doing more social media.
Is to get on the road and start getting more full-time and doing some paid gigs and taking this to another level. So
Try to not have a manic breakdown.
Shit, don't start comedy. You're gonna waste a lot of your life doing it. Let's see, start exercising earlier.
Never bring a girl you really like. If you really like her, never fucking bring her to a show. Like, not in the beginning, because the forces of nature, the gods of comedy will come down and fuck up your set.
Don't fuck comics. Unless they're really, really hot. And then don't still fuck them.
Wear a helmet when you ride your bicycle.
Worth it. Honestly, that is all worth it. My story is a little unique compared to other people. Like, I started end of September 21. By January, I was producing shows. By February, I had created the Open Mic Collective, which runs a bunch of open mics. I created that for the community, for myself, to get more time for a lot of reasons. But it's been some ups and downs. Definitely, I think I brought a lot of my own morals and values into comedy, and I had to realize that, like, people gotta be people, and I just gotta let people be people. Let some of that shit go, and just let other people do other people, because karma will always win. and it will be worth it, because the last 2 years of my life, I'm 45, the last 2 years of my life has been some of the best. So yeah, it will all be worth it, all the stress. All right.
if I had to give any advice to my former self, it would be to duck. So that's...
Quit drinking maybe the first time you thought you have a problem.
Do it because you have to. Not because you like to. That's nice. Do it because you legit can't do anything else and be happy.
Get up more as often as possible if you actually want to do this and get good at it. If you go up what do they say, working out, they gotta do it 3 times a week, at least a week working out. You gotta at least get up at least that to, like, get better at something. So get more of that, whatever it is. Even when you want to kill yourself and you've drowned for 9 months straight.
Don't do a podcast outside with 30 fucking degrees. To just somebody who just started comedy, you know? Doris just started this here today. It's fucking freezing outside. She's wasting her car battery. She's gonna die. She won't even know to jump batteries. Just like she jumped the wall to get over here. What fucking country you came from?
Colombia.
New Mexico, yeah. British Columbia? Oh, wow. Oh, God. You're so hood.
I gotta start filming my sets more. I just don't like doing that.
Well, I say the big thing in comedy in the beginning, like in the first few months, is you don't realize, because like it's in a bar and like, oh, I go to the bar, so you go out and get drunk at the bar, but it takes a minute. Like it took me a minute to realize, you got to realize when you're new, like it's not the bar, like it's work. Like right here at 907, yeah, we're all degenerates. We're all drinking on a Monday. None of us are are making our parents proud. That's not happening. But even though people are doing all sorts of things medicinally, for the record, it's still work. And you still got to stay focused, and you still have to stay poised.
Talk to everybody. Be nice to everybody. You never know. Everybody's got something to add. Everyone's got something they can give you, and it's just better to be as nice as you possibly can and to work as hard as you possibly can.
Got about 12 girls for myself to avoid. I got a lot of stuff.
Don't be a pussy. Network more. It's okay, even though you kind of feel like a piece of shit. It's all right. Just it's part of the gig. I felt like I was above it, so I think that if I would have networked more, I would have got more stage time, and that's what you're here for.
Don't procrastinate as much. Love yourself always. Be kinder to certain people in your life. You know who we're talking about? Me? No, not you. God, no, not you. But you know, self to self. You know who we're talking about. And yeah, just take care of yourself.
I guess I do a podcast called Hell Yeah, or DJ tries to stand up on like all social media or whatever, all that stuff.
Thank you for doing this, Doris. I think that this is a really cool way to add to the community. I love people who find unique ways to add to our community in a positive way. Always support local comedians. The local 907, it's, even though I run mics, you know what I'm saying? The local 907, the local 907 is a really important mic. The Open Mic Collective, please follow us online. Follow me online, Allie, A-L-L-I, Real Funny AF. That's my...
Fucking, I don't know, Dino Dad, Noah Rubin for helping me out so much out here in Seattle. He runs the Shanghai Room, he's a great guy. And everyone who's got a mic out here and is just doing it for the love.
All right, anything you want to put out there?
I got a lot of shows this month. I'm gonna be at and now I have to whip my phone out to look at the dates.
Anyways, that's where you came from, Columbia?
Yes.
Were you really born there?
No, I was born in Hinesville, Georgia.
Hinesville, like the ketchup place? Okay, whatever. Fake ass Colombian.
Let's shout out Shanghai Room for keeping it nice and clean.
Yeah, okay. The Throwin' Spaghetti show has been going the third Saturday of every month at the Comedy Bar. We sold out the last month. It was standing room only at the back. Get there early. We want you in a chair. That's what I want for you. So it's March 16th, and it's the shit. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Club Comedy on the 28th. I'm gonna be at Trenchers on the 26th. We're going backwards. I'm going to be at the Red Lion Pasco Hotel on the 7th, and I'm going to be at Laughs Comedy Club on the 6th.
Yeah, look, first of all, come over, turn around real quick. No. Come over, let me show you fucking face. No. Come here, show your face. You look like you're from fucking Fargo with your fucking hat on right here. This is not Columbia. You look like fucking Daria Fargo.
Shout out to Local 907, man. We do it real hype here every Monday night.